trying to rapidly learn the role. You think he's caught up yet?
I feel like Heartbeat had his best week yet last week. His crescendos were really on point. Even his first week of support, you could tell he was trying a little hard to make big plays, and he's kind of dialed that back a little bit and become more of a passive player, which is exactly what they need. And if you talk about his matchup with X Special, like, you could not go with more experienced support versus someone. So, like, if Heartbeat is going to get punished by a more experienced support, it would be this game. So this is kind of a checking point to see how far Heartbeat has really progressed in that role.
We'll see where it ends up going for him. Of course, they're actually banning out Thresh for themselves, Shen as well against Dyrus, and unsurprisingly, TSM have banned away Mega Zero's Riven.
Aw, we don't get to see Riven again. That tells me, though, that they might want to lane straight up with Dyrus, because Riven is a 1v1 beast, not the best in a 1v2 unless you get out of that situation very quickly. The Eve ban is a little bit curious, right? They've played a little bit of Eve in the past. I know Claky D was jungling it a bit. There's actually a jungle Eve by MVP Blue that happened earlier. No, it was SK Telecom T1 number 2 that happened over in the OGN Spring last night. And it is a ban here. That's a surprising ban to me, though.
And Karth is actually making his way back into the bans for like one of the first times since Season 2 as well. Like, Reginald is pretty OG Karthus, and they've removed that here.
It's too bad, because this is actually a ban out of almost a Season 2 TSM strategy that TSM ran last week, or I think it was last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago against Curse, where they kind of brought it back. Karthus, Shen, Nocturne is what they were running there. I don't think they're going to run a Nocturne this time because Karthus and Shen are down already, but I do think those are smart bans for Marn, really just making TSM play a strategy that Marn doesn't think they're as good at.
And of course, they've right away locked in one of these picks. It's now TSM's turn. Think about what they want to grab. Now, aside from the Evelynn, no main junglers have been really banned. Like, Shen can do it, yeah, but like, really only Evelynn the ban, so everything's available here.
Yeah, if I could expect something, TSM might pick Jarvan, because, or they're going to have something that'll just, like a bunch of move blocks they can get out of Jarvan, because they know that Claky D just zones in and picks Jarvan 4. So if TSM goes with Nasus, they're very much just letting them play J4 on top of the Malphite dive, because the Malphite pick from Marn very early on potentially denies it from Dyrus. Dyrus has played a fair amount of really impressive Malphites so far this year, but TSM's just letting them have it, and there's the picks.
Well, you've got now Malphite, Jarvan, and Misfortune. Could you get any better, like, RRR buttons?
Some pretty good R buttons.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to continue to press R and win team comp, because they only got a couple more ready to go. Karthus is already banned, though, so what are they going to do with that one? TSM here, you know, Reginald played a bunch of had a bunch of LeBlanc bans early in the season, and then he's like, you know, teams know how to play against LeBlanc now. He's like, I'm not picking LeBlanc, so that one's out the window. His Xerath is actually still pretty strong if he wants to go at that. Xerath would actually be able to kind of assassinate Misfortune during bullet time if he wanted to try to pull out something like this. But TSM comp is so ill-defined at this point. Like, the Nasus and Sona are probably the two least specialized picks right there, and they're just sticking with the standard stuff. Unless they go with Twitch, that would be a little crazy for them, but the Renekton would be regular.
Well, 5 seconds left to go for them to decide right here. They are going to lock in the second brother there. Renekton and Nasus on the same team, as much as they might hate it, and Twitch will be reeking up the battlefield. That's going to be locked in too.
So locking in the Twitch against a Malphite. Like, one of the things that I feel like keeps Twitch in check for the most part is a strong Malphite. Like, Twitch can go nuts, but in the late game teamfight, if a Malphite just jumps on him, he's going to be in trouble. So TSM is going to have to peel so well for Wild Turtle since he's ended up picking Twitch. He's been playing mostly like Draven and Varus. He had his first Misfortune game last week where he did really well, but that was picked away from him. And he does go with the Twitch, so like, it is a lot of AoE that TSM's kind of throwing out there, but that is a very bold and almost dangerous pick against a Malphite. We'll see how it works out for them.
Well, you've got Marn looking at their last 2 picks for themselves. Lulu might, that has been locked in on top of the Malphite Jarvan, and they're going to grab Katarina for the mid lane.
So here we go. It looks like Marn's going for the get everyone low with R, and then have Katarina just do the Kha'Zix and jump all over the place. Actually, I think it's Kha'Zix who's doing the Katarina. Katarina came first.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're going to be going for. I haven't seen them play Katarina this year, and this would be funny. Because honestly, back when Scar used to play Katarina, and obviously this is before the rework like a year ago, he's like, the #1 counter to Katarina is LeBlanc. But I also think Reginald's trolling me because I mentioned LeBlanc to him earlier today.
Well, we did see in the Korean leagues, and yeah, he's switching up the champions, looking for a different continent to start his champion. This might just be Kale being grabbed up. Of course, he's got time to switch it around, haven't seen Zillion since Season 2, but again, I think that might be a troll pick as well.
Travel back in time. I know that Najin's Sword did play a Zillion in one of their OGN games, but it's good stuff. And Diana for Reginald. He's been playing a lot of Diana lately, and it's just helps their communication. They go in, and it's usually Reginald leading the charge.
Well, he will be the one charging up into this one. You've got the lineups on your screen, chat. You talked about Martin being press R and Katarina dance around. What's TSM about?
So TSM is also a little bit about pressing R. If you wanted to combo two incredibly high damaging ultimates together, it's Renekton and Nasus, the brothers right there. They just go for it. Reginald's R starts the fight. Twitch's and Sona's R create after it, right? Like, they have a very strong team fighting team as well to counteract it. The big thing TSM's going to have to keep track of is locking down Echo, because they'll need to keep Katarina down at first if they want to be able to win the rest of their fights. So it is both team fight heavy compositions, but there's more of a focus on killing Katarina and killing Twitch. I think those are the two big things in this game.
We'll see if they can end up getting dropped out here, guys. We're into game number 2. Make sure you're above your primary competition. We're into the game right now. You're seeing Marn on the blue side, TSM on the red, and they're leaving their bases.
So we'll see what they end up doing here at level 1. I'm looking at the team comps, and there's not crazy pick potential from anyone, right? Like, Jarvan isn't that threatening at level 1 aside from the flag and given vision. Katarina can't really hop around because she needs her spills to combo that, right? Like, there's no big picks. The best pick would be a Wither from the odd one. So, like, unless someone face checks a bush straight into 5 people, we're not going to see a fight. Speaking of which, they're real close to each other.
Well, that does mean that TSM spots Martin running across the map. Of course, Martin doesn't know they've been seen here. This is TSM's opportunity.
They might go
to make something happen. Neon Thompson's waiting around by himself.
Oh my god.
And he struts away.
There's just not enough pick potential. They really need someone to walk straight into a brush if they wanted to make something happen, and Marn just ended up running by. So this gives TSM knowledge. They know exactly where Marn went. And they actually don't know that Marn didn't go into their blue buff. So this is a very dangerous move theoretically for TSM. It's just Marn isn't there to counter.
You know, Marn are actually trying to like find TSM's invade. The Glitterlance like came out at the bottom half of the jungle. TSM sweeps through. Of course, they ward the blue buff themselves. And everyone's going to make their way back to their own jungles here.
And just based off the path that TSM took versus the path that Marn took, those 2 wards that TSM got in there are not going to be predicted by Marn. Just because of the way Marn ran back through their own jungle, they're like, there's no way TSM is here. They do not see us. So Claky D is going to think he's undetected at blue, but TSM's going to know.
This will be interesting. We'll see if that ends up panning out to much. Claky D and Mega Zero, of course, starting off that Wolf camp quite easily. They are revealed by a TSM ward. We'll see if that turns out into much right here, because I don't see anyone from TSM looking to stop this. This blue buff right now going to Claky D.
I think it's mainly just the vision knowledge. They are opting into a 2v2 as well, which is a little strange. That's a lot of confidence in Wild Turtleneck special to go up against Neon Tansu and Heartbeat, knowing that they're really double golems against Wolves, so the double golems do give a little bit more experience, and Neon Tansu got to lane before Wild Turtle, so they're already digging themselves a really, really tiny hole that they're going to have to kind of like bunny hop out of, but we'll see how it goes.
Unfortunately, though, Riven not in this game, so bunny hopping will be a little bit more difficult for them.
That's a tough
Echo,
one.
though, already aggressed on by Reginald. The Ignite was already spent. So Reggie's trying to play aggro here, but of course there are still 8 potions here for Echo. I feel like he'll sustain through this.
Reginald went for the 8 pots as well, so it's going to be a very drinky drink mid lane. They're going to try to harass each other, and it's like both of those champions are melee, so they do get to trade a lot with each other, and Reginald already looking to make something happen with an early invade. Just checking some stuff out.
He put a ward down right by the Wraith Brush. Echo does kind of the same and spots Reginald going back to lane. That will potentially give them some pressure against Claky D. The top lane is actually Dyrus pushing on early, and we get Zero trying to hold on to this one. 3-9 right now in minions up there.
So that top lane will be extremely interesting, because this is one of those Mega Zero matchups where he's not actually bringing a brawler, right? Like, he doesn't have the Ignite. He's probably not going to be getting solo kills on Dyrus, and he actually has to be the consistent one who survives in lane, which is a different role for Mega Zero to be in. But the last time he played Malphite, he actually had a really strong game as well, so we'll see if he can do it again.
And of course, we're seeing Claky D in the mid lane standing on top of a ward and looking to gank Reginald. He will not make that mistake. Audon actually waits by his turret to counter gank this if anything should happen, and instead he says, nope, wolves for me.
Nasus still mainly about the farming. He can pull off some ghost ganks, but they're rarely that potent. You kind of have to hope the enemy super overextends or doesn't have escapes in order for him to pull off ganks, so I think the odd one going to be safely farming for the most part as Reginald tries to throw down harass on Echo, but that lane isn't going to have much happening until they run out of potions.
But let's take a look at this bottom lane. The Wild Turtle has been dropped down below half health right now. The Special just tries to pump healing into that poor little rat right there. Niantanso and Heartbeat have shoved to the turret, and they've built themselves actually a small minion kill lead with all their antics in lane so far. Take a quick look at the top of your screen. You're seeing 5.1 to 5.2, a slight gold lead overall for Team Solo Mid.
And the gank up top is a little bit undetected from Claykey. If Dyrus slices in, Claykey's going to go, but I don't know if Dyrus is that bold to go. I think Claykey's still going to gank. Oddwin would be there for a counter.
Well, he is going to be riding around in the brush. He goes for the knock. He does land that onto Dyrus. Where will he go? He's going to dash forward. There's the Oddman. He has ghosted in. Claykey D is going to take the Wither. He's dropped down below half health already. He's going to flash into this one, but he is probably going to go down. First blood goes to Dyrus. He's going to like double buffs here, and they are just matching in this game.
I feel like Claykey D got a little caught out there. The counter gank was very well timed by the Odd One, and they focused the jungler in that case because the double buffs were much more important than the kill on Mega Zero. Now they could be very bold and try to get a kill, but for the most part they're just withering Mega Zero and trying to farm as much as possible at the turret. That was a great move by TSM.
A great pickup overall. You're seeing them build a 700 gold lead because of that one. Mega Zero still again withered under his turret, trying to keep that alive. Drop below a third health, and it looks like the turret will live, but of course the jungler did not, and Echo still getting pushed around by Reginald here.
Look at the minion kills though. This lane is just even. 36 to 35. The big lead is just in the top lane for Dyrus getting that kill on Renekton. Reginald is out of mana, but I feel like he's completely content with this. He's going to go back with 1,000 gold, probably pick up like a double Doran's Ring or something, and then go for kills at 6, right? Like Diana is a great matchup against Katarina. He can just stop the channels immediately, and anytime Echo goes in, he can get the slow on him. So Reginald will look to be making plays in that game shortly, that lane shortly.
Yes, and we'll see how that ends up panning out. Right now, the bottom lane, though, they have not gone back to buy. Though right now, 1,300 gold does sit in Niantanso's pockets. Just pushing up to the wave, and with that pink ward in the river, it seems they are not too afraid of the Odd One ganking here. And as they keep pushing in towards the turret.
Want to see if TSM does anything about this lane, or if they're content with the way the game is going. Because while Turtle's surviving, they're not losing, but they're definitely not shutting down Niantanso, and MF is being the lane bully right now. So nothing is really wrong with that lane for TSM, but they're not getting the lane edge that they could be if they put more attention into that lane.
Well, you just saw Reginald pushing in onto Echo, so certainly he's trying to make moves right here. Katarina is looking to farm. Reggie once more with that ward over the wall. And Mart just over and over and over again, they are pushing. Dyrus, though, he wants to make a move. Of course, the blue buff does spawn in the next 40 seconds, and he puts a ward down to spot it.
So here's the play that TSM wants to make, I think, with that ward. They know that Mega Zero is down teleport. Never mind, he just hit level 6. I was thinking they're going to try to move before Mega Zero hit level 6 and go for the blue, but that is actually not the case. So, false alarm.
False alarm indeed. Dyrus will have his ultimate available. Of course, he's hit 6. Niantanso still in this battle. Heartbeat missing a Q. And they're just panning, they're just kind of going back and forth, 12 minions apart in this bottom lane. They're just kind of slowly creeping around. It's the mid lane that's interesting. A 5 minion kill lead puts Echo in the front right here, but that's not too big of a deal. The blue buff will be spawning in the next few seconds. This will be TSM's time to go for it.
Yeah, and when Reginald came back to lane, he didn't actually bring any health potions. He instead opted for the ward that he placed. And they know Claykey D is here at level 5. The invade is coming in, and Dyrus has actually beaten Mega Zero to the spot. Let's see if Claykey D can get out of this one.
He did smite that one away. There comes the flash stun coming in from Dyrus down below. 200 health, the flag toss, and the Akka from Mega Zero. Will it be enough? Dyrus not in range for anything, and he gets out, but Echo getting chased out by Reginald. This could be a kill potential. He's certainly taking some damage. Echo goes for the haste again. Reginald will not dive this turret. Thankfully, just barely for Marn fans, Claykey D gets out.
You know what? That was great for Marn because they burned multiple ultimates. Dyrus used his flash and his ultimate. Reginald went over there. Odd One wasted time and didn't get anything. And since Claykey D didn't die, Mega Zero actually made it back to lane a little bit before Dyrus. On top of that, in the mid lane, Echo got enough harass down onto Reginald, who was out of health potions, that he might actually have a bit of presence in this lane to make something happen.
He certainly has shoved Reggie back to his turret one more time and wants to keep the pressure on. Of course, Reggie is actually taking a fair bit of poke as that goes down. And now that Claykey D has made his way back to base to heal, he's starting his own Lizard buff here. This one, much less pressured.
Definitely not the pressure on the other side of the map. TSM still holds the control over the majority of this game, and they're kind of just letting the status quo go. They know that in the team fights, because they have Renekton and Nasus ultimates running, they should have a little bit of an edge. It is so hard to overcome both those ultimates in a team fight. Wild Turtle doing fine in that lane, right? Like, he's got the same items aside from the Red Elixir, and until that Red Elixir gets popped by Niantanso, he's okay. I think Xpecial and Wild Turtle are playing this lane very conservatively, and they're just going to wait for the team fight phase. Okay,
so you mentioned the team fights here. TSM clearly have been making some early moves, the blue steel, whatnot. Are they going to start pressuring Dragon as well now, or where are they going?
I think the Dragon would be something they want to go for kind of soon, but Marn is much better equipped to handle it, right?
Okay.
Mega Zero's got a teleport to come down. Marn also has the wards over the Dragon, and most importantly, the lane that is closest to the Dragon, which is Neon Tonso and Heartbeat, are beating Wild Turtle a little bit. So it's a risky move for TSM to go for a Dragon, and they might actually kind of wait for Marn to make a move and then try to counter it.
Okay. We'll see if TSM does that, and if Marn makes any moves themselves, or if they want to farm it back up. The gold lead's still just at 700 right now, so just the first blood gold is what separates these teams right now. Neon Tonso out farming, doing what he can. Echo finding some pressure in the mid lane. Reginald with the blue buff is actually looking quite nice now, finding a lot of damage. Echo goes for the spin, does push Reggie back. So they are just trading constantly here.
Yeah, and Reggie just goes right back in again. They're trying to get as aggressive as possible. They might just try to get some lane pressure down here as Oddwin runs into the lane. But it is just Reggie being his aggressive self, down in CS, but still going big.
But in the top lane, you're seeing that Mega Zero's turret has been pressured so incredibly well by Dyrus. He's been immune to gank so far, or counter ganked when he was hit. And Mega Zero's turret is just getting hit lower and lower and lower. It's got 444 health left on it. And in the mid lane, it's Reginald and Oddwin pushing in as well. Not quite a knock up here from Claky D. They won't quite find a kill.
That was a real nice juke by Reginald. He actually jumped to Claky D before Claky D went through him, so I was like, well, I just swapped places with you. Gank failed. What you gonna do now? The turret does go down in the top lane, and that was somewhat a result of because Reginald and Oddwin were pushing mid so much, no one could lend assistance top lane. And here comes Oddwin behind Neon Tonso. TSM going in.
They're putting in a lot of damage. The haste comes out from Heartbeat, but there is the Oddwin. They're going to actually wither onto Heartbeat. Will he keep himself alive? There's the flash. He's still got Wild Growth. Pops it. Still trying to run. The crescendo comes off across two, but here comes Mega Zero. They find a double kill for Neon Tonso, and now they're chasing Wild Turtle. He's going to stealth out, but it only lasts 4 seconds at rank 1. Mega Zero does not want to chase him out. Gets revealed, they don't keep going.
And we got to keep in mind, Mega Zero teleported down for the double kill, but Dyrus ran down for a kill mid. And now TSM is going to be pressuring that turret. So even though it was a miraculous play by Mega Zero, Dyrus made a smart, consistent play, ran down, and actually TSM gets the turret out of this and the overall advantage.
Oh my gosh, TSM are looking absolutely on point. Great moves by them. Wild Turtle's going to actually open up on a Neon Tonso. It's going to be close. The double up comes across. I feel like Neon Tonso's winning this fight. Oh, they trade kills. Then Wild Turtle gets the better deal by 60 gold, actually.
Well, Wild Turtle is a little bit crazy. He knew he actually won that, you're right, because there is an increased bounty on Neon Tonso that the trade was overall worth it for Wild Turtle, but man, that takes some guts.
It does. So you mentioned the kill that Dyrus got in the mid lane. Let's take a quick replay of that one.
Yeah, so this one was literally just him walking down. Echo gets engaged on by Reginald, and Dyrus just flies in. Has nothing to do with the kill. I thought he was going to have something to do with the kill. Reginald soloed him. Dyrus was there in spirit.
Dyrus was there in spirit. Moral support. The cheerleader Dyrus was there. And now you're going to see that Team Solo Mid have picked up the Dragon for themselves. And just like Complexity vs. Dignitas, unanswered, not even trying to stop it.
So that was really just, you know, maybe that had something to do with the move that they made Wild Turtle pick up. Because there was neither AD carry there for the fight, right? And since Dyrus was in the bottom lane anyway when that happened, GSM just had the numbers advantage for the Dragon, and they could take it for free. Oddone popped his ultimate to make it go down super fast, and I think that was a smart overall play by TSM.
Now let's see where you pick up the pieces from here. TSM have been making the better moves so far. 2,000 gold. You mentioned the team fights would be in their favor. We haven't seen one just yet, though. Neon Tonso with a finished Bloodthirster. We'll see if he does anything with that himself. Can Martin even make a move with something here? Can they find a turret, maybe?
I think Martin's going to want to continue pressure on the bottom turret since they don't expect the repeat ganks to happen. They really need to get some kind of map pressure back because they've lost a Dragon and 2 turrets, so even though they've been out farming that bottom lane, they have to make it count a little bit. That's why they're continuing to go down on this. Once they kill this bottom turret, Neon Tonso will be able to go elsewhere, and they might get some of the rest of their map presence back because they've lost the other 2 lanes.
Here we go, Dyrus versus Mega Zero in the top lane. They are brawling back and forth pretty constantly. So far, Dyrus has had the better sort of deal of this one. He's up 30 minion kills and a kill overall. Echo just stuck in this mid lane right here. And actually looks like the bottom lane is not going to be contested. Neon Tonso will get that turret kill, and that is the first for Marn so far. The rest of TSM have run to the top lane trying to find their 3rd turret kill so far.
And Echo's here to support it, but look at the pressure they're going on Mega Zero. They're flying in.
They are trying to do as much damage as they can. Echo has joined back up with his ulti, dropping Dyrus dangerously low. Mega Zero did not want to burn his ult as a part of that battle. And instead, TSM will just walk away without too many cooldowns burned. Neon Tonso and Clicky they're actually going to go in. The Wild Growth lands out special. There's the Cataclysm, the bullet time coming across as well. They get that kill despite the crescendo. And Clicky going to walk back out in style. Gigantic as well. This turret dropping in health. Neon Tonso probably can find this.
And this is the pressure continuing on the other side as well. TSM diving.
The ult comes off from MegaZero, though. Can they get the damage output that they need? Aubin dangerously low, has been ignited as well. Turret shot's not quite going to be enough. Echo left alone, but can he find something to clean up? Finds Reginald. Can he get the axe? Yes, he'll find 1 kill, gets the resets, but he doesn't see the Aubin off onto the side. He's going to run right back to the jungle, 1 for 1 over there.
That was a very admirable play by Reginald, making sure to space from the odd one so that even though Echo got the kill, he couldn't cascade it into more. This game just got super, super interesting because the big leading lane that Marn had with Niantonso really took advantage of it. So they got the double turret, and then when TSM was over pushing, trying to get it back, they couldn't close onto the MegaZero and Echo thing and actually only traded the 1 for 1. So now the gold is even again. The objectives are even, and there's a very, very farmed Niantonso pressuring mid.
He's got a finished Bloodthirster well before 14 minutes. He's got 1,500 gold in his pockets as well. And Claky D is repeatedly picking up the Golem buff for himself. Unlike Reginald, who's been taking that from the odd one, Claky has a bunch of mana. Dyrus will be grabbing the red buff for himself, though that's, I think, the first time for him this map.
So Dyrus going to be trying to make some plays now that he has that red buff. He was trying to bully MegaZero, and he kind of has been the whole game. That's why he's 2-0. That's why Mega's died. That's why Mega's second turret is almost down. But I feel like MegaZero has survived, right? Not the most ideal, but the teleport bottom really helped Niantonso get going a little bit, and everything is okay for Marn at this state. It's really going to be about the next set of engagements.
And with Dragon coming up, I would think in the next few minutes, who looks for that fight? Is it TSM or Marn trying to start things?
I really can't tell at this point. I think it's TSM trying to start things.
It's Reginald trying to start things because he's Reginald. He looks for a little bit of pain. Claky runs away. Dyrus about to flank onto MegaZero. I'm still moving a little bit forward. So we have a 400 gold difference between these teams. 15 minutes in, and Super Week has started out awesome.
Yeah, so both of these teams, to get back to your earlier question, both these teams have huge initiation potential, right? Reginald can just go in on Diana. A lot of times he'll just R without a Q just to start the fight and let things happen. But you look at Marn, and they have Malphite Jarvan. That is an initiation in itself, plus the Lulu knockup. So it's really about whoever sees a more crisp opportunity will go in and start fights.
Well, Echo looked pretty crunchy right there. Reginald drops him down to half health. More pain being put down as well. He actually has to Shunpo away as he is afraid of a giant Dyrus Crocodile. The rest of TSM, well, 4 of TSM are pushing down the mid lane. A Wild Turtle just off on his own trying to farm up.
And there is a slight difference in auras right here. A lot of times junglers build both the Aegis and the Locket of the Ion Solari, but the odd one started with the Locket, and Claky started with the Aegis. I actually kind of like both choices. They both have their unique talents. The thing to note about Claky D's one, though, is the ultimate from Renekton does a huge amount of magic damage, so that is going to be largely diminished by the Aegis, especially if he turns into a Bulwark soon.
See if that ends up panning out here. MegaZero being shoved out by Dyrus just a little bit. None of these guys have completed any major ticket items, interestingly enough. Just a kind of a bag of stats for these guys. 4 members of Marn now in the mid lane. This turret down to half health as well. Will TSM look for an engage? Dyrus, it's going to be Echo taking down to half health. Finds a lot of damage in the hands of Xpecial. The teleport comes in from MegaZero. They're going to go for the battle. The bullet time comes across. Will they find anything? MegaZero's teleport got canceled. It's actually Marn running away from this one. Niantonso flashing out. The Wild Turtle ultimate has come across. They find a kill onto Claky D, and they're still chasing down. The Wither should be back up soon. It's Reginald who finds Heartbeat. That's a lot of punishment right there. MegaZero's joined with the team. Echo's been stunned up by Dyrus. Dyrus making huge plays. Reginald as well as Heartbeat goes down. Niantonso now getting chased out. The ult from MegaZero, but there comes the crescendo. Dyrus still taking pain. Mega finds the kill, but he's trying to run away. It's a 4 for 2 so far in this fight, and Mega is still running. He will make it out.
Crazy, crazy engagement in this one because Marn spent so much time in that top turret. They thought they were going to catch TSM defending, but TSM caught Marn attacking. They got enough damage down before the turret was down, and because they stopped MegaZero from teleporting in, they jumped the ship on the engagement, right? TSM got the initiation first, and because of that, they were able to roll through for the majority of the team fight.
And now it's just TSM with complete control over the Dragon. As a result, no ulti needed. You've got a Wild Turtle there to shoot that one down for you. Poisoned up Dragon goes down reasonably quickly, and this is multiple now Dragons in a row TSM has taken without any effort.
And I think that last fight also went to show the chasing potential of TSM, the Wither spam potentially from the odd one. He's maxing that second after Spirit Fire, as most jungle Nassuses do. Dyrus just rolling through, being able to stop the teleport from MegaZero and then just running down to support was so key. But that team fight was won because TSM started it right, not because it was a straight-up brawl. I don't think Marn is that much worse in a straight-up brawl if they're able to get it. And I actually don't even know if we're going to see those fights. Because of the initiation potential of both of these teams, I think they're going to be trading really just who can initiate better.
We'll see how that ends up panning out, though, of course. These guys are building quite a bit of durability on their initiators. You've got Mega Zero finishing a Sunfire Cape, Darius with Warmogs, and Reggie has already grabbed his Zhonya's Hourglass.
And it's an interesting choice to go Warmogs on Renekton. A lot of times you'll see them rush a Sunfire Cape, but because I guess he's up against Mega Zero, who's going Magic Pen Malphite with just a Sunfire Cape, which is magic damage as well. He wants to make sure he doesn't die to that. And now he's trying to hold this turret 1v2, but Mega Zero and the rest of Marn really trying to make something happen because they know Reginald is bottom. They might decide to turret dive this, even with TSM coming in from the side.
They've got all 5. They land a slow to Darius. Clicky D finds some friends. Of course, so does Echo. Still a 5-on-4 is available, and Marn are the ones flinching, actually. Reginald is putting a lot of pain onto this turret. This is basically his right now. Will Marn even make a move right now, or are they too afraid from that prior fight?
They have to make a decision at some point because Reginald is not going to stop pushing, so they either go or they defend, and it looks like they're going.
And actually, Darius, who actually goes in to start that fight a little bit. Clicky D down to half. He's found some punishment. They're going to go in. There's a knockup on a Darius. Where's the bullet time going to come across? They find that there. Darius finds 1 kill. They're going to fire back 1 for 1 so far. Double kill for Echo. He's going to move on. They can't quite get Wild Turtle. There it is. 3rd kill picked up. They're now on to Xpecial. Echo gets away with like 12 health, and only Xpecial is alive. 3 for 1. Reginald down to a 2nd turret, though.
The question is, though, yeah, is it worth it? That's 2 turrets, so that's 1,500 gold for a 3 for 1, which is definitely not that much gold, but it is a turret as well, so that's actually another straight trade. Reginald still pushing, Marn trying to go back to defend, and Marn still pushing as well.
Reginald now up to the inhibitor turret for himself, but he's running low on minions. Never mind, a new wave has shown up, and Reggie's going to defend that just cleanly. The recalls come back. Clicky D and Echo are here. They might just chase him down. Clicky D's going to look for something. They get the slowdown as well. Reggie's going to look for Echo. Zhonya is used by the Katarina. They've taken that 2nd top turret, though, as well. So Marn did answer 2 for 2 and came out ahead in kills.
Oh, man, that was just such a crazy back and forth. Look at this, Freak. 20 minutes into the game, we have 9 turrets down. Both these guys have been pushing like mad. That split push dare by TSM just kind of happened, right? They traded 2 turrets apiece, really, for that one. And a couple kills for Marn as well. This is just looking at the items. Infinity Edge and a Zeal for Wild Turtle. He builds more Infinity Edge, I have to say, than almost anyone else in the LCS. Regular Misfortune build coming up for Neon Tonso. Not the Black Cleaver. Even though it might synergize a bit with Jarvan, they're more worried about Neon Tonso being able to do damage himself. This is going to be a really crazy ending when this game gets going.
This game's been actually going for quite some time. The ending, though, this has to be even more ridiculous right now. Reginald has grabbed the blue buff. Of course, Neon Tonso had stolen their red. And Mega Zero looks like he'll be giving the blue to himself here. Clicky D, of course, hey, Neon Tonso got a red already. I'll grab this one. He's getting himself some nice, pretty colors.
It's actually super key that Mega Zero has this blue buff because he needs to keep Wild Turtle on lockdown. And the more he can keep him attack speed slowed, means the more times he can use Ground Slam with the cooldown reduction, the more important it's going to be. And Mega actually gets caught out a little bit. He does have his ultimate up, though.
Well, Echo's come by as well. Will they look for a fight right here? Reginald goes up pretty aggressive. That Zhonya's, of course, still available for him. Should be pretty safe. And once again, TSM have pushed down this mid lane, and they're actually posturing towards Baron right now with the ward control that they have due to the Oracles.
And if TSM wants to go for this, they could kill it very fast, which is the pressure they're putting on Marn. Nasus kills Baron super fast because of his ultimate, but TSM's actually looking for a bit of a bait. You can tell Marn's walking in, looking for TSM, and they might just try to go for more turrets. This has been a turret-based game.
This turret is absolutely going to be TSM's. The teleport is actually coming in from Mega Zero. He's going to go all the way in. What will he find right here? The battle has started. Echo's in the front. Mega Zero's going to find a beautiful ultimate. Look at the area of effect available. They're getting kill after kill. Double kill here for Echo. Pop Sonya's 2 dead for nothing right now. Will they keep cleaning up? Darius finds 1. They've killed a member of Marn. Darius is now running away. He had slain Mega Zero. 2 for 1. They've gotten the turret. Will he get out? Neon Tonso has the ability to chase, just maybe.
He is on the run, but the strut is very fast. Marn is taking a lot of time to kill Darius here, and even though that was a miraculous initiation by Marn, it still is only a 1 for 2. Darius gonna hop over that wall, and all of is he gonna flash? He's gonna flash.
Oh my gosh, Neon Tonso really wants this one. Double up. He finds the kill. Assist still there for Clicky D. I don't know what he did to get an assist off of that one, but it did definitely happen there. There we go. 3 for 1 minus the turret from Marn.
But they're still down 1,000 gold. So this game is still super, super close. There's a Alacrity enchantment on Echo's boots for Katarina. Just moving 15 faster. We'll see how that works out. There's an Oracles that just got picked up by Heartbeat. So maybe Marn is going to be trying to force something crazy. I got to say, even though Mega Zero didn't land an ultimate on Wild Turtle for lockdown there, it didn't matter because I don't think Wild Turtle's at a point where he's kind of one-shotting the team yet. I don't know if Marn could get a better kind of crazy wombo combo. I think they caught 3 in that and nearly killed all of them. This is, it's just, like we said earlier, all about the initiations, and that time Marn had the edge with the teleport coming in from Mega.
Well, Dragon is going to be coming up in the next 8 seconds, and Marn look to be directly on top of it, both literally and metaphorically, as they're waiting around as it spawns. They want this one.
But look at TSM. They're kind of calling them on their bluff. TSM did run by a ward on their way to Baron, but Marn has to go for that fast. I mean, the Odd One's ultimate's going to be up in 2 seconds, and they're just beasting down this Baron. Marn has to run there fast, and because Dyrus is in the middle lane, I don't know if they're going straight away, but that Baron is going down.
Marn are going towards the mid lane. They are actually going to give up this Baron right here. They've pinged towards the Sona, but just the 2-man here from TSM are making it happen. It's down to half health right here, and Marn still have not checked. They found Dyrus, though. They're looking for the damage here. The slow comes out from Wild Turtle. They get the dunk on Dyrus. He's popped his ultimate as well. Will they get the kill in time? He does go down, but the Baron is still losing health very, very rapidly, and this is going to be TSM trading a kill for Baron Nashor.
Absolutely worth it. Baron is 1,500 gold and an incredible attack damage, ability power, and health regen buff on 4 people on their team. Marn, unless they can make something happen in the next like 25 seconds, even the turret is only going to somewhat equalize the gold. They're going to be down for the next 4 minutes while 4 people of TSM have this buff. That was a really good tactical play by TSM.
Well, they have gotten a Dragon and a turret and a kill in response for a Baron from TSM. Of course, it's still TSM's window to make moves here. Wild Turtle, he's moving towards that top lane. 212 farm on him, and you're kind of seeing why he's got the highest gold in the LCS. His team gives him farm repeatedly.
And they're just got pretty good objective control too, right? Like, his gold per minute is going to get pretty high in this game if he starts getting some kills in the end game, right? I have to say this is probably one of his worst games because Wild Turtle has been nothing but spectacular this entire season. And he actually does have to pick it up a little bit. It's been Dyrus and Reginald initiated, and then Wild Turtle unable to clean up. A lot of that has to do with all the armor that Marn has. You know, Mega Zero on Malphite is really difficult for a Twitch to kill in any circumstance, and the fights have been initiated generally in Marn's favor, so Wild Turtle hasn't been able to get involved.
Let's see what he can do with this one. Just doing the math real quick, he's actually not hit the 400 gold per minute mark that he's had all season so far, so you've got the number to back it up, Jat. He's not having the same performance that he has throughout this season. That might just be too much for TSM to handle. That said, they are up 1,300 gold still. Solomid are winning this game. Even if the score at the top doesn't look like that might be true, they're winning in objective control overall with Barons, and still I think they're winning in Dragons overall, and that's what's given them the edge so far.
And it's still going to come down to what TSM does with this Baron, because Dyrus is the only one without it. They are not afraid to dive. Reginald will call the go in, and the team will go in. Their communication has gotten better and better every week so far this season. That's one of the reasons they've been able to climb up from 3rd place in the LCS to now in 2nd after the Dignitas loss. So they have objective control, as you said, taking the red buff, and they might just be pushing bot.
Well, they are looking to go for that one right now. Mid-second turret is available. They just don't want that one yet. They are shoving these minions out successfully. Claky D grabs the blue buff, but he's actually had to run away from the smaller pieces left to go defend this bottom lane, as Reginald will push his way through with the team. Oh, Ward does spot them here. Marn knows about this, but they're going to go heads up against a half-health turret.
I want to see how this initiation pans out if they decide to go in for it. It is a little bit dangerous just because of the counter initiation from Marn. Like, if they go too hard and they don't get on Neon Tonso, they'd all get caught in a bullet time and it would be disastrous. There's not huge pick potential from either of these guys. There's no thresh hooks in this game. It's not like you can land a charm or get some lucky stun. It's really about, do we want to go? Okay, let's go. And if they decide to fight, they're going to fight. So positioning before the fight is very important because this fight could be super explosive.
And speaking of positioning, there's about 28 seconds until Neon Tonso's flash, and you've got to think he's calling that to his team. Guys, wait one more wave. I need flash to get away from Xpecial or Reginald or someone. See if that ends up actually being true here, though. Looks like TSM have waited long enough. Marn will have their cooldowns. Yeah,
and let's make no mistake about it. Marn doesn't really want to fight a team with Baron, especially since they've waited out 3 minutes of TSM's Baron already. They just have 1 more minute, and then they can fight again, right? It's been about the same goal disadvantage for the past 10 minutes, so they're really just trying to hold this one out. They know they have 6 turrets down on TSM. If anything, Marn might defend this middle turret, but that's the most dangerous one for them to defend. The last thing they want to do is get outmaneuvered by TSM and give up a free turret, so that actually might happen here.
Reginald is actually diving his way in right there with some armor. And yeah, he's like, never mind, guys. I see your team is right there. I didn't really mean it. We'll go back to the way things were. You guys can defend this for a while and wave clear.
JK, he didn't want that one. He just wanted to see where they were. He inside the base, take a look around, just back up again. Reginald's also going to be wanting to pick up that Abyssal Scepter pretty soon. will actually help the ultimates of Nasus and Renekton a huge amount if Reginald gets the Abyssal Scepter, so he's going to want that pretty hugely. It'll also help him against the Malphite and Katarina combo if it happens, but I believe that Marn has successfully held off that last Baron push, and now TSM has to be a little bit cautious again.
Well, they've sent Reginald on the split push to the bottom half of the map, though, and we've seen that a fair bit from him. Last time it got on 2 turrets, and nearly the inhibitor as well. And it's Echo being sent heads up against Reggie here in a 1v1. We've seen them bash heads for a while in this matchup. Who's going to win this 1v1 if you can look at the items?
Yeah, Reginald's going to win it if he goes for it, right? Echo has to run away, and now it's a matter of turret pressure because Niantanso was off clearing a wave, so this is all advantages for TSM.
This is going to be very likely a dead turret right now, and the second middle turret as well, they've got a numbers advantage on as Martin runs down to the bottom lane. So TSM now 6 turrets to 6. They've got a surround on Reggie, though. Will they have enough damage? The Sheep might come out. They've got a whole bunch of pain, and they do pick that one up, but they've lost 2 turrets now, and TSM are running around the map trying to just buy some time so they can get out from the 4v5.
TSM is opting into the objective game right now. They have to make sure that they don't lose anything big in the next 37 seconds. They traded the kill for a Baron, it worked out. Again, they traded the kill for 2 more turrets, and it's worked out again. But now it's a matter of the Marn counterattack, and Marn will really want a team fight at this point because TSM has been avoiding them.
Well, 24 seconds until Reginald comes back up. That is the big thing to keep track of on the right-hand side of your screen, is that number ticking down. That is the number until Marn no longer has a power play here. Mega Zero going to face tank this turret. They're going to go in. Dyrus wants to put up a little bit of defense as well. Mega Zero's going to go in. They've got the giant. Oh my gosh, the damage. The Twitch has been exterminated, and they're going to keep on moving forward. Special forced away with an Ignite. They've got Dyrus in the middle of the enemy team. Niantanso still alive. Heartbeat has kited out as well. Dyrus goes back in, finds Niantanso, gets the kill. He gets the gold out of that one. It's going to be the odd one. And now Cleaky D forced to run away. Reginald has shown back up. He gets 1. Will he get any more? Echo so incredibly low. Flash from Reggie. It's going to be the kill. The double kill picked up. 3 for 1 in that fight, and TSM have control.
Marn really wanted to take advantage of that window, and when they exterminated Twitch, it really looked like they'd get something, but the persistent presence of Dyrus and the Odd One just tag teaming, sitting in that fight with that damage over time, it was too much for Marn to handle under the turret as well. That turret probably did a good 2,000 damage during that fight, and it went on for long enough that Reginald made his triumphant return and cleaned up. Now they're coming back all the way across the map, cross-country running, looking for this inhibitor.
And you can see the Odd One is just looking for minions right now. Apparently they are just a little bit too afraid of Mega Zero and Claky D. So they look for the inhibitor. They don't quite find it, unfortunately, for TSM fans out there. But they have now stretched their gold lead. They're up 4,000 gold. And we've called these numbers out a bit, but the number is not that huge in retrospect. You've got less than 10% of a gold lead.
And I guess that was a little bit too far ahead. Reginald didn't want to go for the inhibitor because it would just be making the same mistake of overextension. TSM has been very tactically playing this entire game, and even though Wild Turtle's getting blown up in these fights, like, he does have enough damage now that if he doesn't get touched, he will wreck everyone. It's just a matter of Mega Zero and Claky D just go for him. Baron's up, though. We could see another big fight.
Yes.
Everyone's ultimates are up in about a second because Dyrus is ticking up right now, and Marn is not giving them any time. They saw Twitch top and they want to fight.
Well, they found the dunk right there. Dyrus pops his ulti. No flash available. Do they have the damage they need to kill him down, though? A lot of pain comes across. There's the bullet time as well. Randuin's popped by Dyrus. Another knock up there from Claky D, and they find it, and they've got minions if they want to go for this turret.
That had to be a miscommunication by TSM. There were 2 spread out trying to clear these waves, and this is a 4v5 without a really tanky Dyrus, so if they dove again, they might be able to get something.
Well, the Wither was popped on a Niantanso, and Marn just backed off. Now, both supports have oracles. They could always play the war game if they wanted to, but Marn says, no, we've still got 30 seconds. We're going to try one more time at the minion wave game. Echo's up there. They've got the bullets raining from the sky as well. Odd One's in front. And again, they don't find the turret.
TSM is doing a miraculous job clearing these waves away. They're putting the Spirit Fire on the entrance so that everyone will be shredded if Wild Turtle opens up. And because there's no Jarvan ult, just a Mega Zero ult, I don't think Marn has the confidence to be able to kill Wild Turtle immediately and threat the counterattack. So they just got the kill on a Dyrus. They didn't pick up anything else because of it. And they actually have to worry about the wave pushing bottom so that when Dyrus resurrects, they can't just rush Baron. So Marn has a lot of house cleaning to do before they can make their next move.
And of course, Dragon and Baron were both up. Niantanso will grab the Lizard buff, though. That is the one objective that Marn will actually grab as a result of that little power play. He's going to be liking that one. Almost level 18, this Misfortune. Just one more rank in E to go. But TSM, this looks familiar. They are running over towards the Baron Nashor pit.
The Oracle's on X Special as well. They're trying to get all the wards out to begin with. And they have a lot of ground to cover because Marn has left a lot of wards littered in this area, knowing that they have to go make this house cleaning. Luckily, Mega Zero has his teleport, so his push bottom lane does not just tell TSM they can go for things, unless TSM somehow cleared out all the wards. But for now, I think Marn is safe, and it's going to be another one of those big team fights. We're here once again. Maybe they're going to go for it.
Well, they look for the up, but they don't quite get the knockup, and Clicky D might have to run away from this one. They do have the teleport coming in for Mega Zero. Will they find a battle? It's Dyrus in the middle of the enemy team. He is going to back off. They have Reginald off on the side. They now spot Wild Turtle 5-on-5.
And TSM desynced their ultimates. Dyrus used his ultimate, but the odd one didn't, so they don't have the full power of the brothers coming up in this next one. This turret is at 1/3. This time, though, they could do the Clicky D plus Mega Zero dive on Wild Turtle if they see the opportunity. They're definitely getting this turret.
Yeah, Mega Zero face tanks it. The damage comes out. They've got to flinch just a little bit longer. They get the turret kill, but Ahmed is in the mix. The Wither is off on Neon Tanzo. There's the bullet time. Will he find much? Not a ton. The crescendo comes off. Reginald in the middle of the enemy team. Mega Zero goes down against Wild Turtle. Wild Turtle shooting from across the wall. They get the kill, but it's 2 for 1 so far in TSM's favor. And Wild Turtle just opens up. They find Heartbeat. Double kill for Wild Turtle. And they're going to keep on moving down. Only 2 members of Marn are still alive. Neon Tanzo is recalling back. Clicky D is trying to run. Will he get the EQ? Gets the W slow. Jumps across, but Baron control is here for Neon Tanzo.
Yeah. Look at Neon Tanzo. He's stuck around the side, and he's getting this inhibitor down. He's trying to distract TSM. This fight could not be any crazier.
And actually, TSM are not going for Baron anymore. They might just look for Neon Tanzo. Dyrus is in a fight against Clicky D, and Clicky is actually scaring him away enough. Oh, in the aftermath of that fight, Marn got an inhibitor for free. What?
So, okay, 3 for 1. The fight itself was really crazy because the only one to dive Wild Turtle was Mega Zero. He couldn't finish him off entirely. So once Wild Turtle didn't die, he was able to roll through the rest of the team. But Neon Tanzo was off to the side, so when the rest of his team died, he snuck away. So he went for the inhibitor, but now TSM's regrouping a little bit. They realize what happened. They can kill this Baron very quickly, and they should get it after all is said and done at the cost of their inhibitor.
It is a 5-on-5 on the map overall, but no one is close enough to stop the Abun Company from taking out Baron Nashor. So TSM does take that in the aftermath of that teamfight victory. Well played by TSM to go back in onto that one. Reginald easily clears out the top lane wave. So it's TSM with a Baron and Marn with an inhibitor dead.
And an exposed inhibitor for Marn. So, like, TSM's going to have to make sure to keep the mid lane pushed up and out in order to go to the bottom lane and get an inhibitor of their own. And I want to look at the item builds of the AD carries because it's really curious here. These guys don't build defensive items, and they never have, and they may never will. I don't think Wild Turtle has ever done a non-defensive item. If there's ever a game for a defensive item, it would be this one. Oh my god, he did it. He went for Banshee's Veil.
Wow.
I thought he was going for a Bloodthirster. So that gives him a great amount of immunity from Mega Zero's dive, and that actually might be the item that turns these next fights. Sure, there's a 6,000 gold advantage, but if Twitch can stay alive through the dive of Marn, I don't know what Marn's chances are in these fights.
Well, right now, Marn are playing the minion game, though. They have all come up to this top lane right here, every single one of them, and TSM will play heads up against that. Dyrus just recalled out of the bottom lane. He knows he has to play defense as well. You can see 18 to 17 in kills. Regardless of the gold you're seeing up there, Marn certainly have been team fighting reasonably well throughout this game, and they're baiting the minion wave in the top lane, but TSM says, mid lane.
And this is just another one of those situations. It's the second Baron of the game that TSM has picked up. And the last time they had a Baron, Marn didn't fight them for a while. They're trying to out-tactic them right now. They actually might try to hope that TSM goes through and they try to backdoor. Like, they're really just trying to wait the full 4 minutes of the Baron off. They've already gotten about 1.5 minutes of it from TSM Freak, and it could just be a matter of TSM trying to wait out their inhibitor respawning, and Marn trying to wait out the Baron buff on TSM.
TSM did, in fact, go to stop at the top lane. Marn was waiting in that brush in the corner of your screen for about, 30 seconds, hoping to find something. He did not, though. Dyrus lurking around in the jungle. He was spotted by a ward, and once again, Marn are hiding in the brush. They're stalking their prey, but no one's around to get jumped.
Yeah, they know that TSM's actually kind of sitting back, and TSM's afraid of losing more of their base, I think. So Marn is making a smart play and hoping that they catch a wandering rat coming through for a red buff or something. It's just not really to be for TSM. Is for some reason, I can understand their reasoning. TSM is sitting back in the base. They don't want to lose more inhibitors. They know they have the Baron buff, so that Marn isn't going to want to fight them, and they're just farming up because TSM is generating gold right now. Marn is generating nothing. So the longer this happens, the better it is for TSM.
TSM are actually just running down the mid lane themselves. They've actually stopped caring about the minion wave on the right-hand side. They are pushing their way on down. This is a tense moment. Marn are recalling. They are the ones who are flinching. They don't want to shove the top lane out. They want to defend the middle inhibitor. TSM 5 strong are going for this one. Back in the qualifiers, Marn would have base race this one.
Yeah, and this time TSM's just face tanking the turret. They realized Martin was trying to do something sneaky, and they just brute forced in full vision. The Baron buff is up, and they got about half a turret there. I wonder if Martin will fight.
They've got another minute on the Baron. In fact, Odd One is in the front, taking a bit of damage, down to half health. MegaZero slows him back out, and looks like TSM will back away from this one as they'll try to sustain their way back up. Giant minion waves at both top and bottom halves of the map. Martin might want to keep TSM from farming that. TSM, in view of a ward, go to the bottom half, and this will be Martin trying to defend it. And
it's only 40 seconds left on TSM's Baron, so TSM wants this inhibitor right now, and if Martin doesn't want to give it up, they have to fight them.
Well, they might indeed fight. Rachel goes in on a Neon Tonso, like it or not. The knockup is there. Dyrus is just training into that one. And here comes the bullet time across 3 members of TSM. Rachel to the front. They're going to get the kill in a Neon Tonso. MegaZero's in the back. Giant knockup there. Can Echo clean up this fight? Echo will die. Nope. 1 for 2 so far. 2 for 2. They're trading kills back and forth. But Marn are forced to run away. Wild Turtle is still here and will not be tamed.
And it's just Heartbeat and MegaZero that are still up. I wonder if they're going to stop him from the inhibitor. Wild Turtle doing everything he can to finish this one off because Martin doesn't have much damage up.
They are finding some damage on a Wild Turtle. He pops barrier as well, and here comes Odd One from the side. Heartbeat taking a bit of pain. Wild Turtle still getting shut down. The shield there as well. Oh, flash from MegaZero. He finally finds a way to duel an AD carry and win. The Odd One just trying to hit now MegaZero, but Mega is so farmed, he's actually winning this fight. And meanwhile, on the top side of the map, minions are beating down onto a turret. The top, the red inhibitor has respawned in the mid lane. That top turret has gone down, so there is one available here. And the Odd One actually will be dying in this fight. Marn finds a way to clean up 2 kills, and now Mega teleports to the top lane. He's not done. He wants to kill more parts of TSM's base. However, Reggie is alive in 6 seconds.
Mega is being a total hero right now. He kills 2 members of TSM and then tries to backdoor the inhibitor, but he realizes the death timers are there, and it was a preemptive teleport. But wow, they might save that inhibitor as well. That is good for TSM, but this game continues to be crazy. I have to say, in that fight near the inhibitor, TSM is in sync right now. They super dove Neon Tonso, and once they finished Neon Tonso, they immediately knew the next biggest threat was Echo. There was a whole clump of people, but the only one that TSM was hitting, especially Wild Turtle, was Echo, because if he would have gotten any resets on Katarina, that would have been bad news for TSM and they could have lost. But they actually did everything right in that fight and still barely won. They stuck around. I think it was still worth it to finish that inhibitor, even if it cost them 2 deaths, because they saved the rest of their inhibitors, and this game just continues to be nuts.
This game is absolutely ludicrous, chat. I can't believe what is happening here. 22-20 in kills. We do have more kills than minutes in the game so far. 8-7 on turrets. We've got multiple inhibitors available for killing. Marn actually has lost their bottom inhibitor, which might just create maybe too much pressure for them.
And keep in mind how much pressure is on these teams right now. Like, this isn't a beginning of the season, like, exhibition match. This is the winner of this game for TSM, right? They can move a game ahead of Dignitas or fall back into a tie. And Marn is already in a tie for 6th place. They're in a playoff race right now. If they lose, they could risk falling into 7th. And they have to win. The first game for them in Super Week, 2 games into our 20-game week, and both of them have been awesome free.
They have been absolutely phenomenal right here. You're seeing even boot enchants come through on almost every person here. Just the amount of money in the game because of the kills, the minions, and everything. They're just finishing out these item builds. You mentioned the Banshee's Veil before, trying to get to more items. Quicksilver Sash finish here for Neon Tonso. Oh man, they're just gonna meet up pretty soon again. Baron in 30 seconds.
And this is actually really cool. The boot enchantments you were talking about,
yeah.
Neon Tonso had the blue distortion enchantment for a flash cooldown. And he flashed away in the last fight and still died, but because without the distortion boots, he wouldn't have this flash up for the next impending Baron fight. So very uncommon boot enchantment for AD carries, but it is working out for Neon Tonso in this circumstance.
Definitely has needed that flash, and the rest of Marn are going to move in on this mid lane. Baron is going to be respawning, but Marn, they kind of feel more like they want inhibitors right here. Dyrus is going to be moving up towards the team. He's spotted by a ward, or will be in the near future. Marn looks to bait out a bit of Baron pressure. They do have the Oracles and a Heartbeat.
And the next fight in this game will probably decide it. Both teams are already missing inhibitor turrets. Marn is actually down in the inhibitor, so this Baron fight is actually going to have to be accelerated. They can't dance around here long. Wild Turtle has 4 offensive items and a Banshee's Veil. Like, if Marn can't get onto him, they probably lose the game anyway. So everything is actually in TSM's favor right now. Marn has to be forced into something. All their lanes are pushing, and TSM is actually knowing this fact, and they're waiting for Marn to put a bad initiation onto them. Marn almost has no choice, though.
They're going to slow onto the Odd One, and still a little bit of pressure here from MegaZero. He flinches though and goes back to the mid lane to push that one out. As you said, Jat, there are lots of minions pushing through Marn's base right now. The first wave is just now hitting the Nexus turrets as well as the top inhibitor turret. So Marn's base is about to be in rough shape, and they're flinching.
Marn either has to fight right now, or they're going to give up a Baron, or they're going to give up an inhibitor in their base. And right now, they're not doing any of those things. They have to fight TSM now if they're still going to linger in the mid lane like this.
Well, they're trying to move a little bit forward. TSM just camping right there. The stealth there from Wild Turtle will give him some haste. They look like they might want to be going into this one. Clicky D lands a slow. TSM backs out. They're playing the map so beautifully. 2 turrets have gone down. That includes one of the Nexus turrets. Marn could lose his game just by sitting in the mid lane.
They couldn't engage on TSM, and finally we'll see the fight.
There we go. Dyrus is up in the front. There's a knockup from Mega Zero. Bullet Time comes across, lands a bunch of damage, but where's it really going to go? Niantanzo trying to cut against Reginald, and Dyrus still taking damage right here. Minions have destroyed a blue inhibitor. They're still losing more of their base. Clicky D finds a knockup, but a double kill here, triple kill, 4 kills so far. Only Heartbeat is alive. TSM are going to close this one out.
That was such a good play by TSM. They won the fight, but that was just after brilliant positioning. They were moving Marn around the map, and after that fight, look, a free Nexus.
And that is the ace. Dyrus gets the kill credit onto the last one. The Nexus is theirs. TSM move into second place.
44-minute, 45-second game. There were 47 kills. TSM had a 9,000 gold advantage by the end of it, and that puts them into second place for now in Super League.
For now is the really active term right there.